So today I want to talk schedules. I get this question a lot, like what kind of schedule do you follow? What does this schedule mean, like Sabbath homeschooling? Can you do have Sabbath homeschooling during traditional school year? What is a traditional school year? What's 4 days on, 3 weeks on? All the questions. So I am going to just share some schedules that I'm pretty familiar with, some that I have tried, some that I have friends that have tried, and that's what they follow and they really like. So let's start first with the overall year. So most people have to do 36 weeks or 180 days to homeschool. So we do, and we have done an academic year that started in July and ended in June, or we have done one that started in August and ends in June or May. And then we've done some that starts like in September, like after Labor Day, and goes through just May. And we've also done calendar year January through December. Each of them have their pros and cons to them. And I will say we've also done Sabbath homeschooling, which is 6 weeks on, 1 week off. We've done that year round. And we've also done 6 weeks on, 1 week off, just in a traditional 9-month school year. And we have also done 3 weeks on, 1 week off. I have friends who have done 9 weeks on, 3 weeks off. They'll do 8 weeks on and then just a week off or 2 weeks off. I've also had friends who have done 3 months on, 1 week off. So that would kind of look like doing school January, February, March, and then take off all of April. And then again, May, June, July, then take off, in August, in some kind of mode that way. And that's a really neat thing too, if you and your family can handle some type of routine for a whole month off, but it being relaxed and built in. And that's worked really great for a lot of families. And I've personally not have tried that. The longest we've taken off would be like from mid-December to mid-January, because we do have 2 children's birthday and anniversary, all the holidays. So that is a very busy time for us. So we normally will take off from like December 15th until January 20th, and that encompasses all of the birthdays, holidays, and anniversary. Now, currently we are doing a calendar school year, so the way that looks is we start like that mid-January and we go all the way through to the end of November, or maybe do some Christmas schooling into the couple of weeks of December, but we're pretty much wrapped up with everything else before Thanksgiving. And that works out really nice because sometimes there's a lot of Black Friday sales for homeschooling, and so you can kind of already pre-planned what you're going to have maybe over the fall and summer, and you're just waiting to purchase it and catch those sales in November for the Black Friday kind of sales. It's also really nice because it just kind of flows in one calendar year. You can decide to take off whichever month for the summer and whatever other times that you need. And then for the holiday, you're already off, so you don't have to add that added stress of school and getting back into the gear of it. Everything kind of comes down to an end, and then as you're planning normally for goals and your intentions for the new year, it kind of flows nicely with the goals and intentions that you'll have for that following year with your homeschooler for your child. And in Florida, when you live in Florida, we used to live in Florida, it's kind of very popular because it's so hot in the summer months, and it actually feels glorious in April and October and November and stuff. And so it will work through those months and kind of be more inside or off, and like work in July and August, and then you kind of take off maybe like September. Or a better idea would be like you work really hard January, February, March, and then you kind of take some time off in April, or the whole month of April off, however you want to do it in that calendar year format. But I know that we did that in Florida then, and we do have some friends here in North Carolina, and we currently have in North Carolina, just love seeing a big board with all their family goals, their school goals, and just having it all for that one calendar year. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it gets confusing or you miss out on stuff when your kids start classes that are new for a new academic school year, like in the end of August or early September. You just kind of start those and then they just go through May. So as everybody's starting back to their new school year, that's really you just are like in the middle of your second semester. And then when they finish in May, you're kind of just starting, and you're about a few months in, 4 or 5 months into your new school year if you're following the calendar school year. And with that calendar school year, you can still do a week off. You can do 3 weeks on, 1 week off, and or you can do all 5 days a week. And I believe you can still do the 36 weeks and then 1 week off, like Sabbath schooling, if you did 6 weeks on, 1 week off, or 8 weeks on and 1 or 2 weeks off. So that is something that you could do. Another thing that you could do is your traditional academic year that would start either in July or August, or no later than typically Labor Day weekend. And then that goes through May or June. And you can choose to do 3 weeks of school, and then that last 4th week of school, it's more for projects, or it's just you're fitting in all your doctor's appointments, house projects, any kind of research or anything like that your older kids may be doing, and or and just taking minor breaks. 9 weeks on, 3 weeks off is another popular one that people do. So your schedule is really unique to you and whatever your state laws require. And of course, there's some families that will homeschool Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday. They did a 4-day a week, and you just kind of tweak your curriculum to fit or review that 4th and 5th day in, or maybe you accomplish a little bit more Monday and Tuesday in order to have Friday off, or maybe it's more of a light Friday or a fun Friday, and you do maybe some field trips, nature study, poetry tea time, Shakespeare, some creative writing, some projects, and it's a lighter day, but so maybe you do a half day or so, and you would use Fridays for that. A lot of people like using Thursdays because they went to church on Wednesdays, or sometimes they'll choose to do Wednesdays and just take Wednesdays off. Some people fit a co-op day in there, so they are still just homeschooling 4 days a week, or sometimes I have heard of people who will homeschool 3 days a week. The 4th day is a co-op day, which is still academically enriching or challenging and rigorous, depending on the co-op and class. And then they take a day completely off. Some people like to take that Friday off to prepare for their home and their self for the Sabbath. So really they'll put all their chores on that one day, and they'll do the deep cleaning, they'll do the grocery shopping, and then they're just kind of relax and wait and prepare for a fun family night and time. And so that's another way that you could do your schedule. If you did Monday through Thursday, Friday off for, having your home be blessed with your chores and your food, and those are some life skills there. Some people will do, Monday through Thursday, and one of those days being a co-op day. And so those are all different types of schedules that you can use, and the days that you use off could be for rest, appointments, projects, out of town, anything like that. So I am currently doing a calendar year, and my kids are still involved in certain classes, and I even teach a class that will go from August to May, and or very early June, and it works out great. It doesn't really conflict with what we're doing at all. So I would highly recommend just sitting down, looking at your state requirements, looking at your goals and your priorities, what's easier for you. Some people like the calendar year if they're in the middle of an academic year, because it feels like if their kid needs a little bit more, it kind of extends it to an extra semester. You kind of gain an extra semester. And then if you're questioning about well, what about graduation? You can still choose to graduate your child a little earlier in that May and June time frame. And then they finish up their last semester. You could just shorten in the last semester if they're academically on track and able to and want to. But normally we would just buy the things that we want that happen to be out to decorate in that springtime, and then they just get the graduation out and stuff done in December. Now, most colleges also have a December graduation, so you're still able to find stuff, and you can always find stuff on Amazon. So it's not like they're totally missing out on stuff, because it's very common for people to graduate from college in December, or late November, but I think the first 2 weeks of December is actually much more common. And so it works out either way. So I wouldn't let that kind of like keep you from doing a calendar year if you kind of like the flow of that better. And Sabbath schooling is really neat. And I've done the 6 weeks on, 1 week off, and about that time you're feeling it and you're like, yeah, I can do this and take this off. But I've also enjoyed 3 weeks on and 1 week off to be more intentional in that time of the 3 weeks. But it depends on like your habits and how hard it is to get everybody in routine or keep them in routine. Initially, whatever you do, you should probably give yourself 6 weeks of that consistent schedule and be intentional about it so that you can see how it works, ebb and flows, and if you need more time before taking time off because of your kids or your family, and go from there. So I hope that this has been a blessing to you. It's giving you maybe some new ideas on how to handle things when it comes to your schedule. But again, you can always check HSLDA out for your state requirements. And other than that, enjoy the blessing of homeschooling, the freedom and the flexibility that you get to do. And remember that the Holy Spirit, the Lord himself, will guide you when you even take something as small as your schedule, which actually happens to be a huge thing, and give you direction. So God bless.